Welcome back to another episode of Tavern Talk. We are on Act 2, Starlight Sonata, Chapter 10, Twin Flames, 8th of the Astral Moon. It is raining, so it's definitely going to be a very cozy episode. And if you're liking the series so far, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I appreciate it a lot. Now let's continue with the video. We have met a lot of interesting characters, and I am eating it up. Hey, Innkeep. Hello, it's been a while since I've seen you around. A whole week to be exact. And you already miss me? A little. Cute. I got my hands on a job. All the way over in Diria. Seems like something relatively easy, but well paid. Or like something too good to be true. Not this time. Apparently the farmer just wanted to be done quickly, so she offered a higher than average rate. Sounds like easy money. Yeah, I wish. You know, I think I could use a drink first. Something to loosen my tongue. I feel like this job drained me all of my social energy. Only if I get to hear the rest of the story. Sounds like a good deal to me. Gosh, Jade has that energy. She just owns it. Gosh, I hope someone makes a video one day, like making all these drinks. I definitely would drink it. Because these look really good. One spoken heart. Let's hope this suits your taste. Your drinks never disappoint. Glad to hear. I can definitely feel my charm coming back to me. I made you a drink. Now, it's your turn. Tell me about your latest job. Fine. A deal's a deal. Told you the client's a farmer, right? She has a large flock of two-headed sheep. Apparently that darn starfall damaged their barn, and they somehow managed to break out their enclosure. Didn't think they were that clever, honestly. Must be the two brains. Probably. Anyways, they got out right before their shearing appointment, and of course, the farmer needed to get them back in time. Especially considering the rumors surrounding Diria at the moment. Seems like to be a dangerous place nowadays. Apparently, an unusual amount of cattle have been going missing these few last weeks. So local folks have been keeping a closer eye on their locks and fences. Of course, the farmer wanted her sheep to be safe, so she hired someone to bring her animals back. That someone being you. Obviously. I thought to myself, I'm a monster hunter. Handling animals is basically my job. I'd say a monster hunter is rather known for, well, hunting instead of handling. That was exactly the issue. Do you know how stubborn two-headed sheep are? Let me guess, they're twice as stubborn as one-headed sheep? You got it. They're impossible to get moving, impossible to startle. One head might be eating, but the other one is always watching you. But you did it, right? I suspect you wouldn't be there if you hadn't finished the job. You're absolutely correct. I was at my wit's end. Imagine having fought hundreds, if not thousands of beasts. Some sheep are the one enemy you can't win against. That sounds like an incredibly humbling experience. It was, trust me. But luckily I got some help. Another adventurer saw me struggling and offered her assistance and knowledge. Or should I say a retired adventurer. Oh? Yeah, she was very insistent on the label. Some kind of astral finfolk? Must have lost her arm a while ago. Oh no. Back to the sheep. She told me there's apparently one thing that gets her full attention. Their full attention? You got any guesses on what magical tool might be? I have no... Oh, hello. Clovers! Morning dew clovers, to be precise. They go absolutely feral for them. A few will make them follow every single one of your commands. But someone with your experience should know that, innkeeper. Do you two know each other? Barely. Ha! Keep your secrets then. Oh, so mysterious, innkeeper. I wanted to buy her a drink after she helped me out back there. Didn't expect you two to be best friends, honestly. Best friends? I think you got that one wrong, Jade. I'd never befriend someone like him. I have taste. Well, that was unnecessarily rude of you, Una. You didn't even consider my feelings. Consider me sorry and keep... Apology accepted. Speaking of taste, what about your drinks? I know you've always liked experimenting with potions and other suspicious liquids. Looks like you finally made it, huh? Indeed. I think I got the hang of it. Then what are you waiting for? Your old rival's waiting for a drink. Preferably one that would store my energy. Those sheep made my own bones all wobbly and I don't feel like looking so weak. Got you. Let's see what that old magic has to offer. Don't worry, he may not look like it, but his drinks are actually really good. I bet. I'll just take this as a compliment, I suppose. Okay, we got a rival. Una. Do we learn anything more about them? Arcane Engineer. Ooh, Mbaya, bog creature. She is 5/5/5. She, they. Okay. Druid, Moonswamp, Chaotic Neutral, the Lovers. Okay. The Empress. This is so cool. There's so many characters. Don't tell me there's going to be another page. Okay. Let's Scandal and Zoford. We have 2 of these missions. I think she's still on Alithia. And this is coming more stockpiled. Oh, wow. Impressed. Don't get cocky now. You don't have to be shy. You can just admit I improved. I have improved. So, Una, Jay told me that you're retired now? Had enough of the adventuring business? Absolutely. I didn't think I had anything to do with that anymore. I've completed enough quests for at least 2 lifetimes. And yet you decide to help Jade. Ever had to handle a 2-headed sheep? Not yet. Lucky you. Lucky indeed. I just couldn't watch her struggle with those stubborn beasts any longer, but this one was a one-time exception. Did the farmer pay accordingly? After your morning dew clover's magic trick? Oh, absolutely. She was so happy, she gratefully paid both of us. That's good to hear. She even tipped us some gems she supposedly found in one of their fields. But I'm a Maida. I don't have any use for stones like those. And since I'm retired, I couldn't care less about material riches. So we figured we'd give them to you instead. But I wouldn't tell that pretentious blonde dragoness priestess if I were you. This is like a blasphemous gift. Oh, divine gems. A little blasphemous indeed. Oh, infusion unlocks citron. What does that look like? Ooh, oh, that versus attack and... Okay, so this rare gemstone can only be found in well-hidden eastern parts of the Forbidden Valley. Gives you blessed. Divine magic of the dragons adventurers will only have much better chance fighting the undead or any other unholy creatures, or any creatures really. I think I know just the right way to use them. Thank you. Don't mention it. Now that we're done here, I can finally go back to crocheting for the rest of my life. And get this hooked up for putting in for nothing. Of course, I also occasionally gotta rip some youngsters off while playing cards. I haven't lost a game in at least 4 decades. That's remarkable. Or impossible for someone who's only playing fair. I think your lucky streak will end with me today. I've also never lost a game in at least a decade. Are you challenging me to a duel? Absolutely. And whoever loses has to pay for the next round for drinks. That's the spirit. I like you, bounty hunter. But don't come crying to me after I annihilate you. Huh. You wish. Jade, be on guard. You're worried about me? Cute. I just know for a fact that Una's a master at cheating. I doubt that's changed. So you're saying you lost against her? More than once, yes. Pathetic. Hey, are you talking about me? Listen, Inky, if your opponent is obviously cheating, like she was, you can't beat them fair and square. You gotta beat them at cheating. Now watch how our real master does it. Ooh, the turtle's hiding. Aww. Oh. Hello. Hello. I don't know what voice to give him. Innkeeper, I have returned. Welcome back, Miss Onwar. And welcome... This brave adventurer's name is Claymore. He offered unexpected support during my request. I am happy to hear that. Thank you so much on behalf of, the world. Yes, of course, the world. Mr. Clay. Just Clay is alright. Are you okay, Clay? Yes, I'm just a bit sad, but that's okay. Not every day you can be sunshine and ferrets. Yeah, we don't have a lot of ferrets around here. Sorry. He'll be okay. One's first quest can sometimes be a bit much. It wasn't my first quest. I just don't like where this is fighting. You're very good at it. I know, but I like it more when we all get along in the end. Evil can't be reasoned with. Not everyone you disagree with is evil. Wise words. Can I offer you two a drink in exchange for hearing about what you encountered? I suppose that's fair. Clay, what would you make you feel better? I don't know. How about one of those drinks with ingredients? You look strong. How about something extra for the muscles? That sounds nice. Let's go with that. I love his face. 1 minute. Okay, so he wants an infusion. So he wants Southern Brawler. Here you go. Try this. I think this might make good for a good ferret replacement. This tastes strong and magic-y, but it's not as soft as petting a ferret. Still, I love it. I'll have to remember this one for the next time. What is it called? Don't worry, I'll remember it for you. Thank you. Oh, it's so cute. Now, Miss Anwar, what would you like? I need some of the liquid vigilance. Even in here, it's important to stay on guard. Wouldn't this be the right time to relax? There is no such time. Alright, then I shall aid you on your divine mission of not falling asleep standing. Okay, what does she want? Okay, so she wants Frosted Lagoon. Frosted Lagoon is a very popular order. Some liquid vigilance, diluted with some delicious secret ingredients. Enjoy. I could do with something less diluted, but you're right. It's delicious. Happy to hear that. Her face. Una's face in the right, she's like, ew. Now I believe you have earned yourself a story. Please, go ahead. Clay, do you want to start? No, I think you should start first. I missed your whole investigation. I suppose that is correct. Well then, as you already know, Innkeeper, I plan to start investigating right here in Zenith. Specifically at the Fallen West Gate. It was a depressing sight to behold. So I've been told. I assume either Melina or the vampire caught up with you in their observations? Both actually, but Melly went on a lot more detail. Mostly about those wildfire badgers. Ah yes, it was reckless of them to sneak after me like that. I'm glad I was there to save them. Me too. Unfortunately, the rubble did not hide anything of value to me. But unfortunately, thanks to your rumors, I was not entirely without a lead. The wizard's prophecy led me to Dalwell. Or should I say, the Abandoned Isle, or Fairweather. The name changes depending on who you ask. I didn't know it had that many names. I always called it Kelpie Island. Why? Because it's shaped like one. Probably the smartest approach. Kelpie Island or Fairweather, its name means very little to me. Its local settlement of Fae was much more relevant. They built everything into a giant sequoia that holds their portal to Avalon. Their portal is in a tree? Yes, right in the center. They call it the Horizon Tree. It's beautiful. The Fae themselves were not as helpful as I had hoped. They didn't seem to have to understand the severity of the situation. Instead, they were much more interested in trying to sell me their rubbish. Kept going on and on about how I desperately needed one of their acorn amulets. When I expected one, the magic was so chaotic I could barely concentrate on its aura. All it gave me was a headache, so I passed on the allegedly grand opportunity. Seems like you dodged a scam. Or a pretty necklace. Scams seem more accurate. It does. Acorns aren't used for much use besides culinary magic. But they do make for good ice cubes. Do you have any? Not at the moment. Sorry. I prefer it that way. Anyhow, when I rejected their offer, they told me I was worse than an astral humpback whale. When I inquired into the meaning of that phrase, they told me such a whale had destroyed one of their scouting camps just a couple days ago, and that apparently my rejection of their generous offer was a bigger slight. They didn't wish to elaborate further, but I had what I needed. No acorns, I assume. No, but a hint towards something that had caused unusual chaos very recently. Even if it had nothing to do with the starfall, this creature had clearly posed a threat to the settlement. So I'm not sure what you would have done next, actually. Go swimming for a whale? Of course not. One would not find such a creature in the ocean. Obviously, I knew that. But it can be summoned with the celestial summon ritual. Which you know how to do? Naturally. So when night fell, I made my way to a nearby Carpus beach and prepared to summon a whale. I don't mean to question your methods, but if you were going to summon an astral creature for answers, couldn't you just summon Cassiopeia herself? She would know what's going on, I'm guessing. Are you out of your mind? Summon a dragon? The Realm Keepers have sworn a divine oath of neutrality that prevents them from directly interfering with the simple world of us mortals. That full of might of their power could disrupt the delicate balance of their cosmic design. Right, sorry. Slipped my mind. You are forgiven. Unfortunately, my ritual was not as picture perfect as I would have liked it to have been. I was not able to find any flimmering limpid shells, so I had to fall back to different ones, which meant the protective properties were a bit out of balance. I knew this meant that the whale was likely to break out of the protective bounds of my summoning circle, but what sometimes risks are necessary. You could have just waited for the tides to bring in new shells. I did not have the time. Or the idea. I was prepared to defend myself. I did not need to waste time on alternative solutions. And except for the minor lack of protection, the ritual went off without a hitch. Normally, the burning of the shells would have scorched my sands, but luckily I happened to be fireproof at the very moment. How convenient. When the last shell burned to a crisp, a colossal astral humpback whale appeared out of the sky in a wave of concerning darkness. Stars used to accompany them. I mean, there was one star. There was. The whale was even bigger than I anticipated, almost as tall as the horizon tree. And in its stomach rested a giant sun, the only star of the night sky whose light had not been extinguished nestled right in its belly. Sounds unhealthy. And dangerous. The creature was out of its mind at the moment it fully materialized. I expected some initial hostility, but it did not even hesitate to attack me. Sounds like a very angry whale. Or a very hurt one. I admit it was a tough foe. Its bite was strong and coated in fire of a swallowed star. It attempted to swallow me too several times. Most of its attacks could not damage me, of course. Thanks to your drink, it had no chances against my defenses. But I was still a massive beast and my attacks alone were not enough to bring it down. And that's where Clay came in? Exactly. My mace was in its maw and we're locked in a contest of strength. When suddenly someone pushed it into the waves, granting me a moment to collect myself. Moments later, Clay was by my side. Together we were able to vanquish the beast. Were you there for the whale too? No, I was collecting seashells. Seashells? Yes, for my friends. At this time of the year, Kelpie Island is full of all kinds of sparkling, floating animals from the astral sea. And they love munching on seashells. Do you encounter these creatures a lot? I try to. They're very nice. Usually, at least. But when I saw Tia fighting that whale, I had to step in. It looked terrified, you know. Every time the moonlight hit her armor, it bared its teeth like it was trying to scare her off. After I pushed it out of her way, I thought I could try to calm it down. I tried communicating with it, told it to stop, but it seemed too scared to even hear me, or in too much pain. In pain? Every time it moved, it seemed to wince slightly, like when you carry logs all day and then someone asks you to help rearrange the kitchen. But I didn't have enough time to figure out what was wrong. It jumped right back at Tia, and Tia right back at it. I did notice Clay trying to speak with it at first, and I considered stepping back for a moment, but I could not risk anyone else getting hurt. No doubt it could have ravaged the camp again, perhaps even the settlement. So you didn't manage to calm it down? No. I realized that I could only save one of them, so I pushed away my worries and helped Tia defeat it. He's a remarkable fighter. His incredible tenacity and brute force helped me defeat it quickly. Tia kept it attack focused on her, and I dealt the final blow. When his weapon struck its body for the final time, it and the star in its belly exploded into stardust and then slowly settled into the carapace of the sea. Carapace Sea. It was like 1,000 tiny stars, all now floating in deep blue. Wow, that does sound beautiful. It doesn't sound like you found the information you were looking for, Tia. I did not. I was hoping to examine its body, but all that was left was miniature stars seemingly stuck into the waves, gently crashing into sand. She was really frustrated, so I suggested we could try talking to its ghost, like my granny likes to do. She said that astral whales don't have ghosts, which seemed wrong to me. They already had the perfect translucent body for it. The ghost was a dead end, but he did give me an idea. Through my innate connection to Cassiopeia, I realized I could try to commune with its fading essence through the stars it left behind. Of course, I do not speak whale, but Clay does. You do? I can talk to animals. Fantastic. It is. Though I'm not always sure they like talking to me. They always tend to disappear sooner or later. Sometimes they come back, but often they don't. I think maybe I accidentally say things that upset them without realizing it, and they think I mean to hurt them. I hate when that happens. You mean they disappear like they never were there? Yes, like they moved to a different quieter beach. Or like they returned to the astral sea. I feel like they would tell me if they went back home. Not necessarily. Many Astraean creatures can traverse in the planes at will, but they don't always have control over when they return. On many occasions, the astral currents pull them back home before they're ready. And once you swept up in them, each subsequent journey out becomes more and more difficult, or so I've been told. I would guess your friend either went home or when we weren't there, or got pulled back before they had a chance to say goodbye. So you're saying the sea swallowed them? Not quite. It just beckoned them home, through a celestial hug of sorts. So that means I could just visit them in the astral sea? That would be an incredible undertaking. Traveling between planes is quite hazardous. It is? But echoes are far from Primordial Sea. From the Primordial Sea, and my family has lived there for quite a while, I think. They must have gone there somehow. They say it's much simpler to traverse between planes once. But for a long time, it has been almost impossible without complicated and dangerous rituals. Until recently, the astral sea was the only possible way to pass through the barriers. And accessing it requires meticulous planning, not to mention the sea tends to come with more risks and rewards. Even your Astraean friends, who can choose to leave their home plane on a whim, get pulled back by the currents eventually. Imagine what would happen to you if you went in unprepared. But the Fae on the Kelpie Island are from Gaia either, and they told me that they haven't lived there for very long. Since the 5 interplanar portals opened up, interplanar travel has become a lot more accessible again. At least when it comes to dream planes. But even the astral primordial seas, not to mention your, are finally open to us again after all these years. It is a true miracle to our witness in our lifetimes. So the portal have always been there. I didn't know that. Who put them there? Well, that is a very good question. And one that would blow the scope of this conversation beyond its bounds, I would think. You would still have to tell me what came of your conversation with the whale's essence. You're right, we're getting off track. I prepared a second ritual, this time a much gentler one, with Clay's cooperation in mind. Aren't you glad Clay was happy to help you? I suppose I am.
You really are?
You're surprisingly competent. Perhaps one might say even say I could not have done this entirely without you. Even was one to be extreme about it.
I think someone like you would do anything alone if you put your mind to it. But that doesn't mean you should have to. I'm always happier than when doing difficult things if I have help from other people.
Well said, Clay. Speaking facts right there. Stellar teamwork, you two. Keep it up.
Will do.
When I was done with my preparations, I kneeled down in celestial waves, Clay's a warm hand in mine. And I prayed to the Lady of the Gilded Sea that she would allow us a glimpse of the slain creature's soul. Did it work? Of course it did.
It felt like bathing in a river of stars, but the stars had feelings and aches, even more feelings. Its thoughts were like a song of fire and ice and fire.
Game of Thrones.
It sounded so scared, and cold, and sad.
Cold is not what I would have expected from a whale with a star in its belly. Me neither, but that's when I realized what was wrong. Why it had looked so sickly and gray. The whale had been cursed with a potent frostbite that had been frozen its body from the inside out. A very painful condition that would drive anyone to madness.
If you're scared, angry, and hurt enough, you'll do a lot of things you might later regret.
Together we dove deeper into its memories and discovered how it's been afflicted.
It fought some sort of evil creature on 2 legs that kept throwing things at it.
A creature on 2 legs? So a humanoid then? We assume. It turns out whales don't care much about appearances, so its memories were blurry at best.
During that fight, it swallowed some kind of stone that made its song turn black and white. It tasted horrible. But when you're a whale, you don't really worry about swallowing stones. You worry about the 2-legged monster throwing things at you. I would too. Just wanting to escape, it fled as quickly as it could, trying to find its way home. It felt really bad about destroying the camp. I get why. The worst part about being angry is seeing the wreckage you leave behind. Luckily, its anger subsided when it found a way back. It thought it was finally safe, but suddenly this freezing cold began. I don't mind the cold much. I'm from the highlands and we get a lot of snow in the winter. But the kind of cold it felt was awful. Painful and inescapable, like it was freezing from the inside out.
The potent frostbite I mentioned. It seemed a curse took a hold and slowly spread through the entire body.
It tried to keep itself warm by feeding on solar crabs and cosmic squid, but that didn't help much. It just kept getting more scared and angrier and colder, until even its brain was freezing over. It couldn't think of anything other than the cold. So in its desperation, it ate the hottest thing it could find. A star.
A star. A giant one at that. It looked deceptively small contained in its belly, but apparently it was one of the biggest ones that night sky had to offer. The East Star. It ate Pharos? The guiding star of the Endless Sea? It did, and it helped. It kept its frostbite at bay, even if it did not eradicate it. But as you can imagine, such a massive star disappearing did not have the most desirable effect at the astral sea's delicate balance of gravity.
I can imagine that. The whale was confused about what had happened. It looked like all the stars suddenly started to fall and spin out of place. They crashed into each other, causing more and more destruction within each passing moment. It didn't understand all of that happened, but it felt bad.
To label it as bad would be quite the understatement. The falling stars ripped holes in Cassiopeia's wings. To think that was just one hungry creature could break into the entire balance of the universe.
It was hurt and scared.
It should have endured, instead of hurting others. Not everyone as strong as you are. Well, they should try to be. Now the whale's legacy's destruction. I doubt it wanted that. Maybe not. It certainly left behind a small natural wonder. It seems that even the darkest moments leave behind some light.
They do. I just wish it hadn't cost a life.
Sometimes that's what heroism is about. Sacrifice. Don't kid yourself. Heroism's about fun and making new friends. Hi, by the way.
Hi.
The whale caused the stars to fall from the sky. I wouldn't call that fun. The friend part usually comes first. I'm not particularly interested in making friends with creatures that cause so much damage. My dear, you could learn a lot by giving some people some grace rather than condemning them for all eternity. Sometimes granting strangers the pace grow can change everything. The beast could have grown into supernova. Or into a new E star. How could I not taking such risk? You seem like you have control issues. Maybe you try being more like your friend there. You know a lot of let loose. You know how to let loose, right, buddy?
I think I'm pretty fine at parties, if that's what you mean. But sometimes when I let loose, people get hurt. Like that whale. So maybe Tia is right. Self-control is important.
My, you're a bunch of mopey clowns. And you are incredibly unconcerned about the impact of letting something that dangerous live. If you had continued causing trouble, this weirdo over here would have made another quest out of it. But I guess you're too young to understand the virtue of taking it easily. With age, you learn things just happen as they happen, over and over again. It sounds like you just want to avoid taking responsibility for your role in that cycle. I intend not to be part of it. I intend to actually change things. Ha! So far, you seem like a pretty standard cleric. Maybe a bit too paladin for my tastes, but if you say so. I just hope you can live with the changes you cause, because you're gonna have to. I'm ready to take responsibility. At least that's better than apathy. Dragons. I do not miss religious zealotry. Anyway, old enemy, got another drink for me? I'm running dry. Anytime, Una. Are you still running low on energy? How about another strong one? You got it. Man, this one's a long one. I'm running at 36 minutes. Alrighty, so she wants another Southern Brawler. One Southern Brawler, call him right up. Gotta pet Andu. I keep forgetting. Kinda have to pet him every day. Gotta make it a tradition so I don't forget, you know? Southern Brawler, come right up. Something strong for the most strong-headed lady I know. Weird way to admit that you lost every argument against me. Well, this drink is splendid, I'll give you that. What you're gonna do now, kid? Now that your big bad whale is defeated. Find out who is behind this. Clearly the whale is merely the byproduct of some sort of agenda. I must find out what it is. Justice never sleeps, does it? It cannot afford to. No one's going to thank you for working yourself to the bone. People usually prefer you sticking around instead. Which is something I'm not going to do right now because I got a card game to win. Good luck with your agendas. I apologize on her behalf. It's fine.
Tia, do you want to go?
No. She was just being overdramatic. Overly dramatic.
Oh, I see. Maybe we should listen to her advice, at least a little bit. My granny always says with age comes the priceless wisdom of mistakes. And that lady was right. You could use some rest.
I think she greatly underestimates the importance of the situation. Both of those things can be true at the same time. Clay, you do have a point that age can bring wisdom few of us can otherwise aspire to. Perhaps the knowledge we need to uncover is this conspiracy lies and not in the future, but in the past. After all, the past is full of terrible disasters that were prevented. Which means that this too could have been attempted before, if not very successfully. Knowledge of something so vile must be scarce and well guarded, maybe even abandoned. I had never come across anything like this anywhere in the Arbitrator's library. Granted, the Arbiter has only been standing for a little over 2 decades now. its library can't be that vast. Many of the Order's books were relocated to the newest stronghold. But I do believe that we don't currently harbor the knowledge I seek. For that, other avenues must be explored. What are you considering?
We could ask everyone who came across until we find someone who knows something.
Good idea, but that would take too far long. I think we should look for the Everbloom archives.
Is that a book club?
An ancient one. Everbloom was one of the great 7 Maiden archives, the Gaian one to be specific. Legend has it there used to be one of each plane, even Tuat, the plane of the dead. They were once filled with the knowledge of the cosmos and grew in size every day thanks to the fearless archivist. But then, they fell to the unknown foe and have been lost to time ever since. I believe one of them could hold the answers we seek. Innkeeper, do you perhaps know where to find this archive?
Nope. Not much of a librarian, unfortunately.
Disappointing.
But you could keep an eye out for it, right? You could ask all the scholarly people that pass through here.
Of course, I can do that. Perhaps you can start by asking the bounty hunter when she's done gambling all her money away. You could ask her yourself. I would rather not. I'll take that terrible task off your hand then. Wonderful. You won't need more than a day to take care of this, right? I could do with a little more time. Nonsense. We don't have more time. I need your full commitment on this, innkeeper. This is very short notice. As are disasters typically. Hence the vigilance. I shall return to a fully prepared quest tomorrow morning. Okay. In the meantime, you should rest. Don't be ridiculous. I have things to do. People to help. Prayers to consult. Una was right. A good night's sleep would do wonders for you. I could even offer you some coupons to a beautiful swap spa. I'm not interested. If I rest now, who will in this world have faith in? I shall see you tomorrow. It's always nice to see a workaholic in action.
Don't worry. I'll go with her and make her some bread. Warm bread always helps me when I'm feeling sad. I think she might need some.
That's very kind of you, Clay. Make sure you get some too.
I couldn't resist warm bread if I tried. Do you want some as well?
Yes please, actually.
I'll bring some by tomorrow. Do you have any allergies?
No. Thank you, Clay.
Anytime. I hope you like bread rolls.
Who does it?
I'll take some of those coupons too.
Wonderful.
Talking through everything really helped. Thank you.
I'm happy to hear that. I hope you held on to those seashells. Catching up with some astral friends might make you feel a little better.
Actually, I was thinking I could use the shells to make some friendship bracelets for Tia and I. I want to carve them into stars. I also managed to collect a bit of stardust, so now I can always remember the whale. I didn't really know what to do with it at first, but on my way back I combined it with some sea glass. Initially I wanted to be a gift for Tia, but I don't think she would like that very much. But it would be a very good in your tavern, innkeeper.
Oh, he's so wholesome. That's amazing. Excellent craftsmanship, I have to say. Are you sure I can keep it? Oh wait, where is it? Oh, is it? Oh, it's floating. It's floating. It's by the window. The one on the first.
Oh yeah, I can see that you appreciated it.
And that's more enough than for me. Thank you very much. It's stunning.
I think that sometimes you have to make something beautiful out of the things that hurt you. Otherwise, you're left with anger that was nowhere to go. Do you like being angry?
No, I don't.
Me neither.
But we all get angry sometimes. It's not the most fun, but it's important. Never getting angry doesn't solve anything either. It just makes you smaller and smaller until people no longer see you as someone they need to think about.
At least they're not scared of you.
Anger doesn't make you any more of a monster than silence makes you a saint. Well, be a whole person, Clay. And don't be scared of what that is.
I'll try, innkeeper.
Thank you. Speaking some facts.
I hope you find a way back to yourself too.
Thank you, Clay. Me too. I love Clay. Damn, they've been here all night? Oh, it's a skeleton! Top of the evening to you. Welcome to my tavern. Oh, what do my magical eyes see? New faces? New acquaintances? I love him. He's just so friendly. With whom would I have a pleasure today? No way, a speaking skeleton? Haven't seen one of those things in a long while. Hello there. How incredibly rude of me to leave out introductions. My name is Scully. And he's so polite as well. You can call me Una, Mr. Scully. And that one over there is my friend Jade. Well, they became friends. Ah, I found Mida, but more skin left. Which isn't immensely difficult, I suppose. Glad to make your acquaintance, Una and her Jade friend. And her friend Jade. Scully, shouldn't you be named after a gemstone? As far as I'm aware, Mida last names reference to their bones, no? Correct. Correct, but I cannot remember what my poor bones are made out of. Death has left quite a lot of gaps in the head of mine. Let me have a look. Looks like alabaster to me. Hard to say without saying a thorough analysis, though. Alabaster? It does sound familiar. Like an old name, perhaps? I'm not sure, but it's worth investigating. Thank you, Jade. Still, let us stick with Scully until we have more detailed information. I need to put on my glasses. I have like Blu-ray glasses thanks to my partner. I think I should get going now. I still have work to do. What a coincidence. I happen to have to say the exact same thing. But wouldn't it be rude to leave us to that distinguished gentleman all by himself? I think one of us should definitely stay a little longer. Isn't it cool that both of you have bones made of shimmery gemstones? That is true. I haven't seen another Midas since... well, since I woke up. So anywhere between 2 weeks and 2 centuries ago. See, it's a match already. Would be a shame if you two were to become friends. Huh? Anyway, see ya. Okay. That was quick. Indeed. I guess a woman her age knows what she wants. Oh, hello. Hex. Good mythical morning. It's well past sunset, Hex. That might be true, but still. Morning somewhere. I know. You got it. But today I'm not here to talk about the primordial magic. Today we're going to celebrate my sister. Oh, hello. Oh my god. Greetings, everyone. Come on in. Pleased to meet you. My name is Scully. Jade. You can call me Hex. And this is Grace, my little sister. Yes, I know. She's taller than me. You can keep it to yourselves. We're here to celebrate, not to roast. Though some fire might be fun. No fireballs inside. Hexagon. He's named after a shape. If you insist, a fireless party it is then. My bones are aching for a party. I haven't attended one in the fields for like an eternity. What's the occasion? My wonderfully talented sister successfully defended her wizard doctoral thesis just today. She can now call herself an actual full-blown Selenite witch. It's not that special, honestly. I beg to differ. That's a majorly big deal. Congrats. I must congratulate you as well. Quite an outstanding achievement indeed. You're very sweet, thank you. I have to agree with everyone. You should be proud of yourself. How about a drink on the house to celebrate your graduation? Hex already told me that you're a real magic connoisseur. I would love to taste one of your creations, Innkeeper. But I don't know what to pick. Could you recommend something to me? Of course. How about a drink for your wits? Your brain must be tired after debating your professors all day. That sounds lovely. My brain could use a little pick-me-up. Coming right up. Oh, this is awesome. Okay, so she wants Sparkling Nebula. All for the smart people, none for me. My, this is delightful. See? Told you. He definitely knows his craft. Say, Innkeeper, do you have a PhD in mixology by any chance? The last time I checked, no, but I do have a lot of experience. Took me a while to get the hang of it. I can tell. Your drinks are really tasty. I could easily go for another round of debating right now. Is anyone else up for a drink? Nah, not yet. I'm still energized from earlier. Scully? Hex? What about you two? I'm good. I don't want to steal the show today. I would love a refreshment for these old bones, actually. Perhaps something that will bring back the charm of the old days. At your service. Here you go. A drink for the charming gentleman. Oh! What a lovely taste. It warms my bones inside and out. Should I be worried? Maybe it's an undead thing. Well, practically, it would be possible for a magical drink to warm one's bones. You just need you and your wild dreams, Hexy. Maybe leave those experiments to someone with an actual laboratory for once. Oh, all that talking about studying degrees brings back so many old memories. I also was a scholar once. I spent my life as an archivist at the Gaian Everbloom Archives, to be precise. Before my, well, supposedly eternal slumber. I've read a lot about the old archivists, but I never had that chance to talk to one. Well, obviously, they're all dead. All of them. Yes, the archives were destroyed ages ago. They're mostly a myth now. Oh, that's quite sad. A lot of knowledge must have gotten lost with them. I guess so. If you wouldn't mind, Scully, I'd love to hear more about them. Maybe we can revive some of the old knowledge. It would be my pleasure, but sadly I cannot remember much of my research. All those years below ground and without sunlight don't seem to have good for my memory. It's been a few centuries since I've been alive, so I'm not even sure where one would find the archives nowadays. Or the ruins, rather. Do you remember the environment surrounding them? Maybe that could help. A little, I believe. I might have even woken up close by. My early memories of skeletons are quite hazy. During my lifetime, the archives were located deep underground. Gaia's lively blessing was juxtaposed with a hostile and lifeless mountain range. They were surrounded by nothing but rocks and boulders as sharp as talons and fangs. Even if you made it out of the mountains, you'd be greeted by either dry steps or poisonous lakes. The liquid in the lake could singe the meat right off your bones. I knew someone that fell in the lake once. I remember it as if it was yesterday. Well, that sounds like not the best place to build an important archive stronghold. Wouldn't necessarily agree. They say that books and scrolls of the Maiden archives contain all the mysteries of the world and the realms that surround us. Of course, you have to protect that knowledge. Would be a shame if someone... Anyways. I think I know the place Scully's talking about. Oh? It sounds just like the Gravelmac. Sharp rocks next to a poisonous lake? There's no way a location like that exists. Twice. On this plane, at least. Or else I would have heard of it. I wouldn't recommend going there. I bet it's exceptionally dusty after all these years. But think about all those hidden treasures. Knowledge left untouched for millennia. That sounds a little too ambitious. Even for you. Fine. Your delicate wizard sensibilities wouldn't last a day in the Gravelmac anyway. Oh, and you would? Who can say? Anyway, I gotta go now. Shared enough secrets of the trade today already. Thank you for your reluctant service. What a lovely young lady. She would have made for a great archivist. And a grumpy one. I'm sure she just had a long day. As have I, honestly. I'm very tired. I'm absolutely sure of that. But you should be proud of yourself nonetheless. You seem like the kind of person to downplay your achievements. And getting your PhD, it really isn't something small or insignificant. It's nothing really. I spent a lot of time researching. Defending my thesis was a mere formality. Scully's and my point still stands, and I'm sure your brother would agree with us. Absolutely. You're all very kind. I really appreciate it. How about we call it a day? It's already getting late. A splendid idea, as I would expect from a witch like you. Seems fair. Hope you get to enjoy the rest of your evening, innkeeper. I will. Theoretically. We're gonna start using that now. The end of the night. Yay! We made it. Oh, we make a new quest. Okay. What can we make? Is it the gravel mac? Capital's raptor roots protected by the Fable Everbloom archives are located deep within the gravel mac. And then there seems to be very unsafe at the moment. Yes. Raiders of the Lost Archives. The Lost Maiden Everbloom archives are said to offer infinite knowledge to anyone with unanswered questions. Its ruins lie deep within the Gravelmac, a dangerous and lifeless mountain range that even seasoned adventurers try to avoid. If that wasn't enough, the mountains are also said to be haunted by a nightmarish bleak stalker. Let's just hope that they don't find abandoned archives cozy and inviting. I wonder who's gonna take up this mission. We still have a lot of notes, but I don't think we have all the information we have gotten throughout the days. Feed on do, sweep the floors, and we call it a night.